I'm probably more aware of Islamophobia in the West and more aware than Muslim leaders who have not lived outside their countries or who have not spent time in Western countries. Because I used to play professional cricket in England. I went to university there. So I spent a lot of time in England. And I saw the evolution of Islamophobia in Western countries. Awful character Salman Rushdie, he wrote this book which insulted our Holy Prophet ﷺ. And since then, two things happened. One, that in the West they could not understand the reaction of the Muslims when our Holy Prophet was insulted. They could not understand it. They believed that Islam was against freedom of speech. So they put it on freedom of speech, that the man can write anything in a book, not understanding the love and respect and reverence we have for our Holy Prophet. On the other hand, the Muslims living in Western countries got very agitated. And some of them demonstrated there, and a few even became violent. And they believed that it was deliberately targeting the Muslim community. The fact was that the Western people do not understand the way we feel for our Prophet, because they do not consider their own holy, sacred entities the way we do. In fact, they do not treat religion like we do, especially in Europe. And so therefore, this big gap of misunderstanding between the two communities, between the Muslims living in the Western communities and the Western communities, this gap grew. And unfortunately, it was not addressed. It should have been addressed by leaders of the Muslim world who should have got together and explained on world forums like the European Union, like the United Nations. They should have explained to the Western countries, if you, under the garb of freedom of speech in the West, caricaturize, insult, mock either our Holy Quran, which for us is divine word, or our Holy Prophet, then there will be a reaction. And so we should have just stressed to them that these two issues should not, under the garb of freedom of speech, be ridiculed or insulted. Unfortunately, we did not. The Muslim leadership did not do so. So therefore, this gap over a period of time, and especially after 9/11, this just has grown more and more. And so has Islamophobia. This gap of misunderstanding and Islamophobia have grown together. There is only one way to fix it. We, the heads of Muslim states, should stress on the world bodies, the European Union, the United Nations, world forums. We should stress what the Muslim world feels for our Prophet. And we should explain to them that please do not use freedom of speech and make caricatures about our Prophet, because it causes immense pain. Our Holy Prophet lives in our hearts. And I have always stressed that the pain of the heart is much, 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 much more severe than the pain of physical pain. And we need to make them understand this, because the Jewish community has made them understand that even an interpretation of the Holocaust causes them pain. And so in European Union, in European countries, it's actually an offense to even give your interpretation of the Holocaust. And there are jail sentences for that. So that's how sensitive the Europeans are towards the Holocaust, and quite rightly so, because it causes the Jewish community pain. Similarly, we should be able to make them understand the pain it causes to us, the Muslim community, when they use freedom of speech to cause us immense hurt. Most of the Muslim leadership does not understand Western culture. They look upon Western culture from outside. The reason why I understand it, because I actually lived there and spent a lot of time there. In fact, I had family there. So I understand them much better than the others. And therefore, I feel that Muslim leadership just do not understand what Muslim communities in Western countries go through because of Islamophobia. They do not understand. And so therefore, they have never tackled this issue. Whereas the Jewish community, on the other hand, I mean, they are so cohesive, united, when it comes to any cause that hurts them. And so therefore you see the sensitivity in the Western media, in the Western countries, towards an issue like Holocaust.